My name is Lauren Adams, and in case you didn't know, I'm Jeremy Adams' daughter, formerly known to you as Mr. Adams, and he's not here right now, so I'm going to do this video. I'm smarter than him anyway, so this is better. I'm going to talk to you about something called Bi-Cameralism, which has something called the House of Representatives, which is Democratic, and the Senate, which is Republican.
Hey, what are you doing? Hello, Mr. Adams here. I have no idea what she was talking about there. Sorry about that. Just ignore everything she said. Just wanted to talk for a minute or two about what we talked about in class today, which was the nature of American bicameralism, which is really embodied in a two-chamber legislative system where you have a House of Representatives and a Senate. Remember, you have bicameralism because there are two things that the legislative process is supposed to be. In one instance, it's supposed to be democratic. It is supposed to be reflective of public opinion. And you want, in a free society, you want to have self-government. You want the people to have laws that reflect their manners and their mores. And essentially, you want your legislators to craft laws that assuage and deal with their concerns. So you have one chamber that needs to be democratic in its nature. On the other hand, good government is not the same thing as self-government. And so you just don't want to reflect not human nature. You don't just want to reflect the needs of the people. You also want to refine those needs into wise public policy. So you don't just want to have self-government, you also want to have good government. And so what we have is the House of Representatives, which is designed to be close to the people. Its proximity to the people is much more intense than the Senate. And we make sure that there's some proximity there by giving them House members only have a 2-year term. They can be young, they only have to be 25 years old. And most of all, they only represent a district, which is only going to have about 700,000 people. Whereas the Senate is designed to be insulated from public opinion. Public sentiment is not as powerful because you don't have to go back to the people every 2 years. You get a 6-year term. You represent an entire state, so you have a much more diverse population. And finally, in the original Constitution before the 17th Amendment, it was state legislatures, not people electing senators, it was state legislators. So essentially what you have is a bicameral situation that does two very different things. So as George Washington explained it, the House is very passionate. It's like a cup of hot tea. And oftentimes that hot tea overflows, and you don't want that overflowing hot tea to become law itself. So you need something to catch the excesses of democratic sentiment. Again, that's why you have a Senate. That's why George Washington said you have a saucer underneath that hot cup of tea. Remember, James Madison did not want simple majority rule. He did not trust simple majorities to make wise law that would not necessarily prevent itself from impeding on the rights of the minority. So he believed in complex majority rule, which is why you have a Senate in the first place, to have some distance from public opinion and to give voice to the minority. So remember to always keep in mind that you have two chambers, they do two very different things, and the ultimate goal here of a bicameral legislature is deliberation. We don't need laws to be made quickly, we don't need them to be made in haste, and that's why you want laws that require a lot of compromise. You have laws that require a lot of discussion, a lot of debate. Remember, Federalist Paper number 10, we are a nation that is defined by its diversity, by its pluralism. And if you're going to have a law restricts freedom, a law in some way manipulates freedom, and if you're going to have that law, you want it to be reflected in the common sense and in the common good of the country. And that's why you need to have 435 people in the House, 100 people in the Senate to make sure that it's a needed law, but it also reflects the common good of the country as well. And that's why you need deliberation. Laws take a long time to create and to legislate because every faction needs to let its input be heard, and you need to have that legislative process to figure out if there's enough common ground to write a law. Remember, gridlock is not always bad. Gridlock is just the fact that the country does not have enough common ground to enact a piece of legislation. So keep that in mind, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.